Good morning and welcome to another shift. Today, let's try and shift some understanding. I was meditating yet again on the fact that the beginning of knowledge is the fear of God. But if that's the beginning of knowledge, what's the follow-up? What he tells us. If we look at Colossians 1 verse 9, he says, "For this reason, since the day we heard about you, we have not stopped praying for you and asking God to fill you with the knowledge of his will through all spiritual wisdom and understanding." Once we have understood the beginning of knowledge, which is the fear of God, he continues to fill us with the knowledge of his will. And we need to understand that God's priority, his priority is the salvation of mankind. His priority for you is your salvation, so that when you stand before him in the day of judgment, that you will be acquitted and allowed everlasting life. However, here's the encouragement. Once we follow him and we are filled with the knowledge of his will, we start understanding that his will is individual for you as well. Let's look at the favorite of Christian verses, Jeremiah 29 verse 11. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." But we stop there, and we shouldn't, because verses 12, 13, 14 is greater wisdom for us and a greater knowledge of his will. He says, "Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me. When you seek me with all your heart, I will be found by you, declares the Lord, and I will bring you back from captivity." The reason we need to be filled with the knowledge of his will is so that at all times that will be our yearning. I know you're going through a storm. I know you're frightened. I know a storm might be coming and you're frightened. And our will is to be saved from the storm. But God's will for us is so much greater. His plan for our lives is so much greater. He must first concentrate on his will for us, the priority of that will, which is the salvation of our souls, to get our minds, our thoughts on him, our desire for him, and not for the saving of a momentary storm. I am not making light of your storm, and neither is God. But God understands that the priority must be that our desire for him must be greater than our desire to be saved from the storm. But here's the encouragement. He says that when we call upon him, when we search for him, we will find him. And when we find him and we're filled with the knowledge of his will for us, he will also give us a plan of hope and a future. He loves you. He wants the best for you. But his priority is for your soul and your salvation, and for the understanding in our hearts that we must search for him first. And we must seek him. And when we do so with all our hearts, over and above our requirement for help of the storm to be taken away of our lives, if we search just for him, we will find him. And then he can bring the fulfillment of his plan for our lives to fruition. I hope that that's been encouraging. Let's shift the understanding from "it's my will" to being filled with the knowledge of his will for you. I love you, brothers and sisters, and I'll speak to you again next time. Have a great day. God bless.